Dive into topics that nourish your mind, body, and soul. From wellness tips to personal growth to deep conversations. Julie brings you the stories that inspire change and spark reflection. Don't miss out. Tune into Mind, Body, and Soul on Sundays at 4 p.m. and let Freedom FM guide you to a more balanced and inspired life. Mind, Body, and Soul on Freedom FM, Sundays at 4 p.m.
Get the Freedom FM app now. Just search Freedom FM app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and start listening today.
The man for you.
It's 1:40 right here in the studios of Freedom FM, and it's a Tuesday afternoon. Today it's actually the 19th of May 2026. It's time for Hot Topics. We have Nubian here with us this afternoon.
Yes. And today we have
a hot topic.
Yes, we do. Yes.
So, we're going to have a guest joining us shortly via the telephone. But, Nubian, how are you doing so far?
I'm good.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was great. Weekend, you use it to take some well-needed rest, after a lot of canvassing and
reset.
Yes. It's definitely necessary.
How is canvassing going?
Canvassing is good. I'm somebody who always try to connect with people where they are, and so it gives us that unique opportunity to go and hear from persons. It ain't all bad. You hear people talk about some good, and so it allows us that opportunity to connect with our neighbors, our friends, our families, even people we don't know. We meet new people every day. Yeah.
Okay, and every day you canvass, right?
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. When I get my constituency office open, then we will start doing some one-on-ones on Saturdays.
Any time frame?
On opening the office or on the... well, we're looking at some possible areas at this point in time. We're just trying to lock it in to make sure it's a central enough area where it's easy to get to and easy to find.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, what's the hot topic for today? Because we told the people it's a very hot topic.
Yeah. So we have a guest. I don't think he needs any introduction, and so he'll be connected soon. There have been a lot of banter, and I don't even want to call it misinformation, but there have been some persons who gave their point of view, and which might not necessarily be the truth or Pam's perspective. And so we would use today to clear up the air as it pertains to our special guest and Pam's way forward.
Okay, very interesting. As you said, that we've heard a lot of conversations surrounding the People's Action Movement in the last few weeks. And it's important to hear what you guys have to say, where you're going, the direction of the People's Action Movement, and what you hope to do after the next general election. So we're awaiting the guest. You told him already, right?
I did.
So we are awaiting the guest. And I am getting some reports that we may be having some technical difficulties. So I am checking on that in the meantime, but we're going to take a short commercial break and we'll be right back.
Hey.
Just search Freedom FM app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and start listening today. FreedomFM1065.com.
Wake up, worship, walk in purpose. Start your day grounded in faith with morning devotions with Serenade. Uplifting worship, powerful reflections, and encouragement to strengthen you for what lies ahead. Join us Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m., right here on Freedom FM 106.5. Anointed mornings, empowered days.
Feet on the floor, but my heart looking high.
Every day we're faced with choices to spend or to save, to delay or to stay on track. It's discipline that shapes our future, because discipline means making the choice today that pays off tomorrow. Remember, discipline, choice, pays. A message from the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Have you heard that Mind, Body, and Soul is back?
Yes, Mind, Body, and Soul is back on Sundays at 4 p.m. only on Freedom FM, hosted by the inspiring Julie Charles. This is your go-to show for thought-provoking and uplifting conversations. Every Sunday, dive into topics that nourish your mind, body, and soul. From wellness tips to personal growth to deep conversations, Julie brings you the stories that inspire change and spark reflection. Don't miss out. Tune into Minds, Body, and Soul on Sundays at 4 p.m. and let Freedom FM guide you to a more balanced and inspired life. Minds, Body, and Soul on Freedom FM Sundays at 4 p.m.
the man for you.
My name is Laverne Keynes, the Public Relations Officer for the People's Action Movement. The unsolicited advice dispensed in a public commentary was not objective analysis, but a carefully packaged attempt to sow division among our supporters, recycle old narratives, and distract from the real issues affecting the people of this federation. The People's Action Movement does not require political commentary from someone trying to get recognition, nor have we invited it. PAM's business will be decided by PAM, its leadership, its candidates, and ultimately the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, not by self-appointed analysts seeking relevance through speculation and revisionist history. PAM remains focused on rebuilding trust, strengthening communities, presenting quality candidates, and preparing a serious, people-centered vision for government. Candidate selection is not a race for headlines. It is a process of identifying capable individuals who can genuinely serve the people. We will not be pressured into political theater for the benefit of commentators on the outside looking in. The attempt to rewrite the events surrounding Team Unity and place blame solely at the feet of PAM conveniently ignores the conduct and political culture that fractured that coalition in the first place. The people of this country know the history. They lived it. PAM has acknowledged past challenges, learned from them, and is moving forward with maturity and purpose. As it relates to Dr. Sean Richards, the people of Sandy Point and the nation know his record of service, decency, stability, and commitment to country. While others engage in character assassination, leadership is not measured by loudness, hostility, or ambition alone. It is measured by integrity, restraint, and a commitment to national interest. The reality is this: PAM does not fear scrutiny, but we reject the notion that political opportunists and external voices are entitled to dictate the direction of our party. Our focus remains on the people, the struggling families, young professionals, entrepreneurs, workers, and pensioners who deserve better governance, greater opportunity, and honest leadership. PAM will continue its work on the ground, continue presenting its vision to the country, and continue preparing for victory at the next general election, regardless of the noise coming from the sidelines. I thank you.
Inside. the man for you.
So at 1:53, we are sorry about that short break, but we had some technical difficulties in terms of the link. The person who is joining us from overseas. So you know how technology decides to work and not to work at the last moment. That's kind of what we're facing today. So the phone call is not working, so we're trying to get him on via Google Meets. I'm waiting for him to join. Hopefully he will join shortly, and we'll be able to speak to him. So we're waiting. We're waiting. But Nubian, in the meantime, we just heard from the PRO of the People's Action Movement in the person of Laverne Kane. She did a commentary right here on Freedom FM yesterday.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about what prompted that.
Well, at the end of the day, the general public should know that the gentleman who came on the airwaves last week does not speak for the People's Action Movement, and their point of view isn't Pam's point of view. And at the end of the day, we still have to wonder whose best interests do they have at heart. Is it that they're going to be voting for Pam? That's why they're giving Pam so much warning and so much support at a plan to support the People's Action Movement at the end of the day. Who are they working for? Who send them to give their advice to the People's Action Movement? Are they working for the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, or they're working for themselves, or on whose behalf were they speaking? So.
Okay, so we have on the line with us the Honorable Sean K. Richards. He is the former leader of the People's Action Movement.
Right.
Dr. Richards, are you there?
Yes, good
Okay.
afternoon to everyone. I hope you can finally now hear me loud and
Yes,
clear.
I am hearing you loud and clear. We are so happy to have you with us this afternoon, and we're happy to actually hear your voice.
Right.
Very good.
Okay, so let's just get straight into it because we've lost some time already this afternoon. Now, Dr. Richards, there's lots of speculation surrounding you and surrounding the People's Action Movement at this time. And the conversation has really surrounded whether or not you will contest the next general election. So let's start there. Is it your intention to contest the next general elections?
Yes, let me make it abundantly clear for everyone who has been asked that it is very much not only my intention to contest elections whenever it is called, but additionally, Sean Richards will be returned as the sixth consecutive time as the representative for the people, constituency number 5 as the representative for PAM in constituency number 5 as part of a PAM administration.
Okay, so Dr. Richards, where do you think the speculation came from? Why do you think that there are people of the view who there are people of the view that you are not contesting the next general election?
Let me put that matter to rest. I am not quite sure as to why persons are speculating that Sean Richards will not be contesting the next general election. However, what I can say to you that I have been, I'm hearing some noise. I've been overseas since January of this year, attending personal matters overseas. And some speculation because of it. I have been the representative of constituency since 2004. October of this year is going to make 2 years since I've represented that particular constituency in the parliament. If you take 22 years by 12 months per year, that's basically a total of 264 months. 264 months. As I said, I've been away since January. It is my intention to return home in a few weeks. So I've been out of the country, call it approximately 5 months, attending to some personal matters. I don't think that it is unfair for me to take 5 months out of even if you take if 6, let's say 6 months going to October of this year, 5 to 6 months. Call that 259 months. I've been the representative for the constituency. Of those 259 months, I've taken 5 out of those months to attend to personal matters pertaining to Sean Richards. The record would show that in 2009, about Sean Richards gave up his U.S. citizenship to serve in the parliament of St. Kitts and Nevis. Jamie, I have nothing. I got a green card in 2023, I think it was. Twice last year, U.S. immigration said to me that since you got back the green card, you have never spent any considerable amount of time in the U.S. And you need to, or else you may very well lose the green card. There is no issue with having a green card and being a member of parliament. Let me make that abundantly clear. However, while I've sacrificed U.S. citizenship to serve the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and I can serve while still having a green card, I am not going to sacrifice the green card also. I am not prepared to do that, and it's not necessary for me to do so. So I've taken 5 months out of 259, perhaps about 2% of the number of months I've been serving as a representative for the constituency to look after my own personal affairs. And that is the reason as to why I'm currently not in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. However, during the time that I've been here, I continue to give service to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and in particular to the people of constituency number 5, East Sandy Point and Fig Tree. Every single press conference that Pam has had since I've been overseas, I've been part of the panel. If you go on my Facebook, I've been speaking to a number of issues affecting the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, to which the government has responded from time to time. I am still very much in touch with my constituents. I have recorded messages for funerals. I've reached out to them in different situations. I've been assisting them in different circumstances, though I am not physically present on the island at this particular point in time. However, as I said, I remain committed to the people, whether it is in articulating about the high cost of living that is strangling our people, the 2,400 homes that should have been built that are yet to be built, the Bastia High School project for $270 million, which I spoke about in the Parliament of last year, which had been kept a secret from the people, the fact that it has been given to a company out of Barbados, especially at a time when our economy needs the money. To date, not one single item has been shipped in respect of that school. I have begun to wonder if those materials are being transported from Barbados through the Strait of Hormuz, and so the boat with the because I cannot understand why, according to them, the materials were being fabricated, but up until now, no one can see one single piece of material in respect of that institution. The Smart Hospital, which was supposed to be constructed since December of last year, and up until now, the only thing constructed on the site is one big billboard. And there are a number of other things. I don't know how many persons in St. Kitts and Nevis know that refugees, 8 of the refugees that the government signed to accept are supposed to be arriving into the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis today. Nothing has been said to the public about it, but 8 of them are supposed to be arriving today. And the question must also be asked, how many came in before and how many more are to come? These are the issues which I will continue to speak out against on behalf of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, whether I'm physically there or not. But I remain committed to serving the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and in particular, the good people of Sandy Point who have elected me to serve them.
Okay. Now, you have something?
No, go ahead.
So, there are some people who feel like the opposition lacks energy. There are some people who feel that the opposition, and I have to say here that the opposition is not just the People's Action Movement, but it's also the People's Labour Party. There are those who also feel that the opposition lacks direction. Now, what do you believe has been PAM's biggest challenge since the last election?
PAM's biggest challenge, in my view, since the last general election is basically the fact that the party during the last general election would have only won 1 seat, which is my seat. And so the party is currently rebuilding. And when you're in opposition and you are rebuilding, sometimes it is a very difficult task, because persons generally, one, they're afraid of the government, a government which continues to victimize the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and the evidence is there to support it. So you have that factor that there's some persons who are afraid of associating with opposition parties because of victimization and other issues. And so as the party continues to rebuild, that is an issue. We also cannot escape the fact that you now have a party in the race, and so whereby traditionally you would have competed against one other political party, you're now competing against 2 other political parties. Take also into consideration that in 2015 and in 2020, when that new party came, coalition and that particular party, that coalition fell apart in 2022. You had some falling out as a result of it, whether it is with voters or even amongst those like myself at the very top. And so these are issues that the party now have to surmount, and the party is doing the work to be able to do so. I note that Dwyer Astafan in particular has inserted himself into the affair of the People's Action Movement, and he has had much to say, not only about that particular relationship, but about myself in general. Now, I do not know when it is that Dwyer Astafan became a friend of the People's Action Movement. I do not know when it is that Dwyer Astafan became an advisor to the People's Action Movement. I do not know who in PAM even solicited advice from Dwyer Astafan. The record is there to show that Dwyer has never been a friend of PAM. Dwyer was a candidate for the Labour Party, I think, for probably 4 elections, 93, 95, 2000 and 2004. He ran against the former Prime Minister, now a national hero, Sir Kennedy. Dwyer has caused PAM on several different occasions. And so I intend to also respond to Dwyer this afternoon. Some person sent me a clip last night in which he indicated that when persons respond to him, they must respond with facts. I will do exactly that for Dwyer this afternoon. And so I start by saying, a friend of PAM, he's not an advisor to PAM. This is a man who stood up in Parliament in 2005, and in reference to PAM, he's talking about a people whose traditions are steeped in lawlessness and spoiled Britishness and disrespect, and take up what they want by not waiting for the time to get it. He's not friend of the People's Action Movement. And Jamie, if you could allow me to continue, because as I said, he has inserted himself into the affairs of PAM, and he said, respond with facts. I understand that he has stated that I have nothing else to offer to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Dwyer Astafan on the 27th of January, 1948. That is a fact. So Dwyer Astafan is 78 years old, almost 80. Dwyer Astafan is therefore a geriatric. And I'm not saying any of this in a disparaging manner. He's a geriatric. Because when you look at the definition of a geriatric, it is somebody who is 65 years and older. He's an elderly. He's a senior citizen. He wouldn't just be classified as an old man, but a middle old man because of his age. Now, how is it that Sean, who is in his early 50s, who just graduated 2 years ago, with a PhD, a doctorate in creative leadership for innovation and change, has nothing else to offer to the people of this country. But Dwyer, who is a geriatric, an 80-year-old man, feels that he can come on radio every single week to make some sort of pronouncement, to give all sorts of ideas, because he has something to offer to the people of this country. So why is it that he, at almost 80, feels he has a contribution to make, but Sean Richards doesn't have any further contribution to make? Even if you look within the parliament, the current Deputy Prime Minister, Jeffrey Hanley, is older than I am by a few months. So is it that Jeffrey has no further contribution to make? Dr. Joe was born 1976, just a few years after Amy. So is it that by virtue of his age, he has no further contribution to make? Mark Brantley, the Premier of Nevis, is older than I am. He's still the leader of the Concerned Citizens Movement. Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, is also older than I am, the leader of the NRP, as I stated. Or what is it Dwyer is trying to say? That because I've been a member of parliament for 22 years, that I have no further contributions to make in a government? And, I'm really trying to figure out by what particular standard has he come to that particular determination? Because even if you look at the age of retirement, I'm still far from 62. I understand Social Security wants to increase it perhaps up to 65. He said that I've gone overseas to seek employment. I've already dealt with that. So that is a lie. I don't think he got that from, certainly not from any conversation with me. And it was that when he served as a minister of government, Dr. Timothy Harris, the leader of PLP, also served as a minister with Dwyer. And Dr. Harris took a year off as a minister of government, not just a member of parliament, as a minister of government, to return overseas to complete his doctorate. Did Dwyer have a problem with it then? Was he of the view that Dr. Harris ought to resign and not contest a next general election? Or was it convenient for him back then because Dr. Harris served in the same administration that he was part of back then? And these are the facts. And as I said, I don't want anyone to say that I have something against old people such as Dwyer, who's up there in age, because my father is alive and he's older than Dwyer. My mother is alive. She's younger than Dwyer is. So I have utmost respect for the elderly. But when a man who's almost 80, nothing to offer, then likewise, perhaps he should keep his mouth shut and to stay out of business, which certainly doesn't concern him, and out of the affairs of the People's Action Movement that no one solicited his opinion on.
Okay, Dr. Richards, I want to kind of go back to something that you mentioned before. You spoke about PAM finding itself in a position where it needed to rebuild because, you know, it has struggled somewhat after the collapse of the Team Unity administration. Now, has the party, in your opinion, fully recovered politically?
I don't think that the party has fully recovered politically as yet, and that is why the party is doing the recover the fall immunity administration back in 2022. As you can see, the party is going through a process of putting candidates in place in different constituencies. There was a change of leadership in 2024, I think it is. I gave up the leadership of the party. So the party is doing a number of different things to rebuild. Like any other political party, it is a process. And so one doesn't expect to see that rebuilding process completely falling in place overnight. As a matter of fact, in terms of political parties, they continue to evolve. If you take the Labour Party in the elections of 2020, the Labour Party only won 2 seats in that particular election. The Labour Party benefited from the fallout with Team Unity back in 2022. And again, I noted that Dwyer had much to say about that. Now, he spoke to the fact that in the election of 2022, Sean Richards would have gained 1,025 votes in constituency number 5. The candidate for the Labour Party would have gained 825 votes, and the candidate for PLP gained 243 votes. He used that as a basis. He said, as part of the rebuilding process for PAM, that Sean should be removed as the candidate for constituency number 5. Again, he said, let us use the facts to respond to him. So again, I am going to use the facts to respond to Dwyer. Yes, Sean Richards got 1,025, 200 votes more than the Labour candidate in the elections of 2022. The PLP candidate got 243 votes, so I got close to 800, 700 and something votes more than the candidate for PLP. Now, if we look at the election for 2020, and maybe this is where Dwyer should focus his attention on the Labour Party that he has stated that he supports. As a matter of fact, he told the political leader of the People's Action Movement that he cannot support her because he is registered to vote in constituency number 1 because she is with the wrong political party. So quite clearly, he's not a supporter of PAM. Now, in 2020, candidate for the Labour Party got 821 votes. So between 2020 and 2022, the Labour Party candidate got 4 extra votes in Sandy Point. Yes, I also got a decreased amount because in the elections of 2020, I got 1,296 votes. However, you had a third party in the race in 2022, as I said, and so that candidate got 243. But when you look at 2015, the Labour candidate for Sandy Point got 884 votes. So the new candidate in 2020, which is the current candidate, he got less than the Labour Party candidate got in 2015. In 2020, none of the political parties brought in plane loads of persons from overseas. In 2022, Labour brought in plane loads after plane loads of persons when the People's Action. And now I also want to look at that in context of how the other Labour Party candidate performed in 2022. In East Bastia constituency number 1, Dr. Hanley got 1,571 votes. Now that was a decrease. That was a decrease compared to what he got in 2020. In constituency number 2, the Labour Party candidate got 1,841 votes, an increase of 419 votes. In number 3, the Labour Party candidate got 1,747 votes, an increase of 494. In constituency number 4, 1296, an increase of 336. In number 6, 1926, an increase of 373 votes. In number 7, 903 votes, an increase of 296. And in number 8, the seat of the current Prime Minister, he actually got less votes in 2022 than he got in 2020. He got 2,104, a decrease of 104 votes. So the Deputy Prime Minister had an increase in the number of votes. The Prime Minister had an increase in the number of votes. But overall, the Labour Party had an increase in votes between 2020 and 2022, because in 2020 it got 10,455, in 2022 it got 12,186. And so while he, as I said, he ought to did it, because while Labour was increasing its votes in every single constituency and got an extra 16% in the number of votes overall, he only got an additional 4 votes. An additional 4 votes. He got less votes than he got in 2015. As a matter of fact, Dwyer went on to say that if you combine the 2 candidates, they got more than Sean Richards. They got more than me by 43 votes. And when our electoral system is based on the number of opposition votes combined, that is a flawed thinking. As a matter of fact, in the elections of 2015, Labour got 11,897 votes. PAM got 8,452. PLP got 2,723. If you combine PLP and PAM, 11,175 votes. So Labour got 700 votes more than PAM and PLP combined in Inkits. But where Labour was, Labour only got 3 seats. So in our system, it is not about the number of votes combined. It is about who got the votes. And the fact is that Sean Richards got the most votes in Sandy Point. If it was about who got the most votes combined, then Labour should have been in government in 2015, because it got the most votes, but only held 3 of the seats. But let me go a little further, because when you look at the elections of 2022 in Sandy Point, PLP's worst showing was in Sandy Point. Labour's worst showing was in Sandy Point. PAM's best showing was with Sean Richard in constituency number 5. The 2 parties were showing was in constituency number 5. So tell him to focus on his party, the Labour Party, and not on Sean Richards. Sean Richards doesn't need his attention. I'm not the only person who received a reduced number of votes also in 2022. The Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris got 1,870 votes in 2020. In 2022, he got 1,266, 604 votes less than he got in 2020. I already pointed out that both the current Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, they also got less votes than they got in 2020. It is not about who got the most votes combined, but who got the most votes in the constituency. That is what our system is based on. And Astafan very well knows that. So tell him, do not come with all of his big words, try to confuse and bamboozle and fool people. Dwyer Astafan is a hypocrite. And I am also going to get to the hypocritical part of Dwyer Astafan. He said, come with facts. I repeat it, come with facts. And so when you look at somebody into decipher whether or not the person is genuine, whether or not this person is a person of integrity, whether or not this person is someone who tells the truth you need to look at the history of that individual. And the history is there to show the type of person who Dwyer Astafan is. He said that 2022, I went behind the backs of my colleagues.
No, and I actually wanted to ask you about that. It was 2020, sorry.
As Prime Minister.
Dr. Richards?
And I said, hello?
Yeah, so I actually wanted to ask you about that. It was 2020, not 2022. But
2022, sorry, my apologies.
Yes. So for years, we have heard that you had the opportunity to be Prime Minister and leader of the Team Unity administration, but you chose to support Dr. Timothy Harris, the leader of the People's Labour Party, when your party colleagues did not support him. What are your comments? What are your comments about that? And are the events that have been mentioned, because again, we've heard about that for years, are those completely truthful?
No, it is not completely truthful. The fact is, and let us go back, because persons need to be reminded that the Team Unity administration had an agreement. The agreement going into the elections of 2015 was that the Prime Minister would only serve for 2 terms. So that first term would have been 2015, the second term would have been 2020. That is what we campaigned on in 2015, and we campaigned again on it in 2020. That is what we went to the people with. Amongst other things, the people returned a mandate to the Team Unity administration based on what we went to them with. Yes, after the elections of 2020, there were some discussions, and some persons in particular felt that perhaps Dr. Harris should not be given the opportunity to serve as Prime Minister of the Federation for a second term. And you had some persons who felt otherwise. So, in terms of saying that my colleagues were against it, that isn't exactly the truth. You had some persons who felt it shouldn't be, and some persons who felt otherwise. But what did we say to the electorate? And that is why the electorate also keep saying that politicians are liars. You cannot trust politicians, etc. Because you go to the electorate and you say one thing to them, and then you do something totally opposite, or you don't fulfill the promise that you made to the electorate. We said to the electorate that whoever is serving will serve for 2 terms. And so 2020, the second term of the Team Unity administration. And so, I'm getting a feedback.
Okay, we're here.
And so Dwyer has, but you know, the interesting, and Dwyer said to persons, you know, because I have a here in my phone, the 2022 from none other than G.A. Dwyer fan. Sean, it might be useful for you and Dr. Joe to have a discreet meeting. I think it can be arranged. Let me know. And he goes on to say how we could introduce a new and positive and inclusive political culture. We must go and have a discreet meeting with Dr. Joe. Not to have a discussion, not to find out what the thinking of my colleagues is, but I must go and have a secret meeting that he can arrange with Dr. Joe. And that is why I said the man quit. Because he's now claiming that I went and I did something that my colleagues were fully against, which is a lie. But the fact is here, and it's in my phone, as I said, hold up the message and shut, because I won't have to tell any lie on Dwyer. The message right here in my phone still. I must go have secret behind the backs of my colleagues without telling my colleagues anything. with Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe, who was then and still is the leader of the Labour Party. Well, from when Pam is in some sort of alliance with Labour or with Dr. Joe, the man is a hypocrite. And I did not take his advice then. I didn't solicit it. And I am still not taking advice. And Pam is not taking his advice. So he can keep his advice to himself.
Now, Dr. Richards, there are some who are of the view that because the People's Action Movement is a political party, putting itself up for scrutiny for people to, choose whether or not to support that party, that everyone has the right to voice their opinion on the party. What would be your response to that?
Could you repeat the question, please? I didn't quite hear the first part.
There are those who feel that because PAM is a political party and you're putting yourself up to the public for scrutiny, public scrutiny, and to be chosen, for people to choose whether or not they want to support you as Sean Richards or the People's Action Movement, they have a right to their opinion and they have a right to voice their opinion publicly. So what would you say to that?
Certainly persons have a right to voice their opinions. But as I said, when persons come with their unsolicited opinions, you must ask yourselves how genuine these persons are. And Dwyer has not proven himself to be an honest and genuine person. And so when persons like Dwyer come with their opinion, you have to look at the character of the individual that you are dealing with. What I don't understand is this, Jamie. You don't want to see. You said Pam, not your political party. Well, then if that Sean is going to general election, then why you want Sean not to run? And so Dwyer is playing reverse psychology with the people because he knows that once Sean runs, there's no way that Labour is going to win that seat. So his thing is, I don't think Sean should run, and he comes and he gives also, which I just show you, that his reasoning is flawed because he said facts have presented facts. So his reasoning is flawed, one, and two, he doesn't genuinely care about Pam. Dwyer would want to see Pam remain in the wilderness forever. Because the Labour Party is the party that he supports. No. The Labour Party, I suppose, he currently benefits from the Labour Party.
No, Dr. Richards, I've got to push back on that a little bit. Right? Because
yes.
I remember Mr. Astafan being a very strong supporter of the team unity arrangement leading up to the 2015 election. I think he actually endorsed the People's Action Movement candidate at that time, right? So, I don't know. Is it that you're saying that he has changed?
Well, his
a man of convenience. He is a man of convenience. And so in leading up then and the years leading, then he had his fall out with Denzel Douglas. And so he no longer felt comfortable supporting Denzel Douglas in the capacity of the leader of the Labour Party. So he campaigned against Douglas. He saw change coming, and so he supported Team Unity. And by the elections of 2022, he was back with the current Labour administration. And I can assure you, if tomorrow he sees change coming, Dwyer will be singing a totally different song. That is the nature of Dwyer Astafan.
Okay, Dr. Richards, one final question. Well, I have another question, but we're running out of time. So there has been a lot of conversation, even in the commentary that you recently spoke, that you were speaking about. The conversations really surrounded the partnership between the People's Labour Party and the People's Action Movement, and why that should not be the case. Right? Now, you are a member of you are a member of the Team Unity Coalition. We saw the public falling out. I remember you being here. We asked you the questions and all of that. What are your views? Because you were involved more than anybody else in this arrangement. So what are your views in regard to another partnership with the People's Labour Party? Are you for it? Are you against it? If you are for it, what would that look like for you?
I have said to the leader of the Action Movement that PAM is in the process of rebuilding. Each and every single PAM candidate need to go out there and do work. They must work. Work, work, work. It is only after they have done the work and you're satisfied that you've done your best. If you need to look at a coalition, then you do so. In any event, if you decide to go into a coalition, the coalition is only as strong as the candidates within the coalition. If the candidates are not doing the work, the coalition cannot win. So the focus must be at this particular point in time on doing work. Until you do the work, you do not know what the prospects of the party will be. And so the candidates must do the work. When you've done the work, then you do the necessary assessments to determine if it is necessary to have a coalition in order for you to get back in government. Of course, you can do scientific polls to help you to gauge that particular decision. But again, even if you do your scientific polls and the work is not being done, where does it leave the coalition? And so while there appears to be some focus on whether or not there is going to be a coalition, the focus at this particular point in time ought to be first and foremost on doing the work in all of the constituencies. Even if you go into an arrangement, then some of the things that you have to look at is who is best suited to win a particular constituency. If you don't have candidates in the doing work, then you're sort of stabbing in the dark. You need to have some indication as to which candidate is most likely to gain the confidence of the people. And so the candidates again must go out and do the work. And so that must be the priority of the People's Action Movement at this particular point in time. If after doing all of it, then you feel is the need for coalition, then you begin to look at that particular. That is my view in terms of coalition at this time.
Okay, and I know that I said that was the final question, but but the People's Action Movement, there are those, and this question came in, there are those who feel that the People's Action Movement has become too quiet politically. Does the party need a stronger, too quiet politically? Does the party need a stronger voice or a more aggressive stance going into the next election cycle?
I certainly believe that the party can be more aggressive. I believe that the party can do more in terms of reaching persons, and I know that some things are being considered in order to strengthen those, whether it is town hall meetings, whether it is radio programs. As I said a few minutes ago, the house-to-house, the one-on-one contact with persons, All the things are currently, Jamie, being looked at and expect and increase present people's action, increase energy coming from the people's action movement, hearing more and more of the action movement.
Okay, Dr. Richard, sorry. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Are you open to having a conversation with the general public? Nobian, you wanted to add something?
No, because of the late
time,
timing and what's not,
yes.
right? So if you want to go and open the lines, and if Dr. Richard would want to take one or two calls, I mean...
Are you open to having those discussions?
I am more than willing. I have dedicated my time up until the end of this program to be part of the program because I still have a bit more, but I'm sure that during the questions I
So listen, right? We are already getting calls, and I have not even mentioned the numbers as yet. So the numbers.
Even if it's just wrap up.
So the numbers to call in are 662-1065, 465-6474, or 465-0546. Let's take our first call for this afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, we missed that call. We probably had him waiting too long. Let's try this one. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jamie.
Good afternoon, sir. That call fell out. Let's try this. Okay, let's try this one. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lubian. Good afternoon, Sean. And good afternoon, the good people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, Sean, you handle this thing like a season campaigner. Because I listen Freedom, the show on Friday, and this divisive politics ain't going nowhere. This is all about people. The people is suffering in the country. You understand? And I endorse what you say, Sean. For collision right now, the parties them gotta go out there and win the minds of the people. People fed up with the politics and corrupt and nastiness we're seeing from these politicians. So, Sean, I endorse what you're saying. Collision will come when the time is right and when we as voters see the politicians them willing and ready to go out there and do the job. And this hypocritical politics where we're getting from season campaigners being unendorsed it, we're not going to endorse it. Have a good afternoon, Sean. But one more thing I would like to say. Sean, St. Kitts is nasty. If you go down the ferry terminal and you see these bathrooms where ladies got to go over, I quite shame and the honorable minister for constituency 1 who is come now telling poor people in the area she give up the bathrooms them to Congress. That ain't Congress job. Congress is the minister of government business, and all of them should go down there and have a look at the port of entry. It's a shame. Music festival in the next few months. And when you look at them bathrooms down there, Marshall should be ashamed. Have a good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Manos. Thank you so much for that contribution. The numbers to call in are 662-1065, 465-6474, or 465-0546. Let's take this call. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Shauna, my name is Austin Coker. I am a born proud Sandy Pointer. And whether you like what I'm going to say, or you don't like it, I just have to speak my mind. I am a strong supporter of the People's Action Movement, and I'm also a financer in number 4. If you, Sean, would tell me, Austin Coker, that after Timothy came into Sandy Point and called you Mumu, And you are now saying about a collision. I don't have a problem with a collision, you know. But say it straightforward, you know, Sean. We know want Timothy as no leader, you know. Are you afraid to say it, you know? Because he come on the airway and he say he fire 6. And he call you Mumu. This not going to work, you know. This not going to work. Anybody else, you could join with whoever you want to join. But the leadership must fall under the PAM umbrella. Straightforward. I take those words when he call you Mumu in Sandy Point very deep because me are Sandy Point down. And if he call you Mumu, he mean that me Mumu too. So you don't play naive. Step on the airway that Tim will not be the leader. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you so much for that contribution.
I clearly stated that the candidates of the People's Action Movement, the main focus of PAM, it must be to candidates that out there doing work. Because you want to win the government in the first instance. And if only and only after then you feel that it is necessary to have a coalition, then you begin to look towards that. So I did not say that Pam's preference or my preference is to have any coalition. And yes, it is a sentiment that is often expressed by the People's Action Movement in regards to Timothy Harris and Timothy Harris wanting to lead any government in the future. He went into Sandy Point and he called me Momo. And that is something I have not forgotten, and it is something I will not forget, because I gave my full support to Timothy Harris in 2018 and 2020. However, I'm also cognizant of the fact that no political party really and truly wants to be in opposition. Every political party, I mean, the goal of a political party is to be in government, to improve the of living for the people of the country. And so if you want to get into government, and after the work has been done, it becomes necessary, then the negotiations will have to begin. And so in the negotiations, then you begin to negotiate who will be prime minister, etc. Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to the phone lines. We do have a caller. Good afternoon. You're live.
Hey, Sean. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, this is really low. Sean, Richard. Sean.
He's there.
Yeah, this is really low. I want to be focused because you have 2 chances. And the next chance you get, go in and represent the country. Sean. Come on. Sean, this is really low. Yeah, you have 2 chances. Don't let the 3rd chance fail you. You understand, Sean? Yeah.
Carl, I'm understanding what you're saying. You aren't too clear. I don't know if perhaps it will be enough.
Yeah, Sean. Okay, you hear me clear? Sean.
No, I didn't quite hear you.
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I warn you, when you get back in there, before course, 4 course, because you have 2 chances. Don't let the 3rd chance lay you down. You understand, Sean?
Okay, sir. Okay. I think I understood.
Yeah. It's very low.
Yes.
All the best.
Okay, thank you so much for that contribution. The lines are still open. Let's take this call. We missed that one, but the numbers are 662-1065, 465-6474, or 465-0546. Some of you are calling a number that cannot connect you on air. I'm hearing the phone ringing over there. I can't connect you with that number. The numbers are 662-1065, 465-6474, or 465-0546. Let's take this call. Good afternoon. You're live.
Yeah, good afternoon again. This tit for tat politics ever work with poor people, brother, and coming to them. So remember that down there in constituency, the financier, and they say them politics going through the door. You understand? We want doing. If it come to a point where we have to go back to a unity government, so it be. Honorable Sean, you around this thing too long to let just come fool you. Look out for the poor people. The country is hard. A lot of people come and they fool people and make people to feel like they could do better. And they can't even clean the backyard. They can't even clean the backyard. So, accounting and the people I think it's needed to make that decision because Timothy Harris saying do none of them nothing. Who do to trinkets? Nobody call the name. Who take all of the CBI and mash it up in 2012, 2013, 2014? Nobody call the name. Tim ain't do nothing. Look at Bastia, which has one Bastia and the team unity. Look at the farmers. Why I done it all stupid politics? This thing will be ready now. Because poor people ain't can continue suffer so. Have a good afternoon again.
Thank you, Mr. Manners. And if there's one thing I certainly agree with you is that this current state of persons that we have in government, they have up the country. I mean, imagine. You just imagine that the state affairs of somebody in the country, that if a ministry or department wants to buy a pen, you have to get approval from the Ministry of Finance. If you need toilet paper to go in the bathroom, you have to get approval from the Ministry of Finance. This is not how it worked before. You have a budget which is approved every December, just as you had in December of last year. The ministry then on a quarterly basis, I think it is, would send in a forecast to the Ministry of Finance, and based on that forecast, monies are released based on the budget and based on the forecast to the ministry or the department. And so you have that money to take you through that quarter so that as you need anything, you are able to spend accordingly, and the permanent secretary for the ministry would give the approval. Now, I mean, imagine to buy a pen to do the government work. You have to wait on the approval of the Ministry of Finance because Dr. Joe and his Labour administration has bankrupted the Federation of Security and Nevis. And so when Dwyer is talking about persons have nothing left to offer, at least when Sean Richards was a minister of government, the affairs of the country were running much better than they are running now. The country was never bankrupt. The country was in a much better position.
Okay, let's go back to the phone lines. Good afternoon, you're live.
Yeah, good afternoon, Jamie.
Hi, good afternoon, sir.
And good afternoon to the Honorable Sean Richards and Lobian. Now, my little input this afternoon is not about Labour, it's not about PLP. When the people go to the election, go to the poll go vote when election call, we know that what the unity has done in this country for the people of the Federation of St. Nevis. The unity was going good. So let me tell you something, people. It's either PAM administration if you want it, PLP administration if you want it, unity administration, a college administration in this country. This Labour administration that tell the fool people, they tell people to lie. And we can't afford to take it. Fooling out young people, election after election coming out and fooling the young people. Them. We got to get, we can't jump down, we got to get, we act together, we got to get serious, we got to forget about who is PAM and who is PLP. If it's a college and government and we got to form a college and government just to get this evil doers out of the country from Parliament. We got to do something about it, Jeremy. This country is going on underground. Under this Labour administration, nothing is doing. Look at agriculture. I hear the Prime Minister say that, oh, last thing I'm going to talk about tourism at the conference. Last thing I'm talking about, you know, hear him say about agriculture. And agriculture is the backbone of the country. Agriculture is the farmers that feed the people of this country. You know, hear nothing about agriculture. Sean, the unity government was doing well under the administration. That's PAM administration 1980 when they get in. When this unity government get in with PAM administration, when they get in, they was doing well with the PAM party. We know what a unity government could do. This Labour administration under Dr. Douglas will suffer for 20 years. Farmers suffer for 20 years. Small business suffer for 20 years. Unity was trying to uplift the people, help the people, and putting a roof on the house, doing different things for them. And nobody's supposed to come in our country, come decide the election for us. And after election, they gone back out of the country. I made to understand how they're bringing all kind of people from different countries, giving them passport, giving them this, giving them that. Just because they want to win the election again. Not performing and want to win the election by treating the people. When we start to rob and kill one another here again, you all have a wonderful man. Something got to happen. And I think we got to get react together. We can. A lot of people make mistakes in family, make mistakes. Your mother never called you mama yet. My mother used to call me mama, my father called me mama, my brother called me mama. This is a thing that we got to sometimes we got to try aside. We are a human being. We are animals. You all have a wonderful day. God bless.
Thanks, Mr. Politics.
For that contribution. Let's take this final call and then we'll let Dr. Richards respond. Good afternoon, you're live. Okay, so we missed that one. Let's try this one. Good afternoon, you're live.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, I would like to ask the representative for number 5 a little question.
Ahead.
Good afternoon, caller. I'm listening.
When Labour was in for 20 years, the narrative in Sandy Point was that we didn't have no representative because the honorable representative was winning and the Labour administration was winning the election. So the narrative was that we can't get things done because Labour in. In 2015, the unity administration got into power, and we got Sean as a deputy. To be honest, Sean had a pretty abysmal performance as minister. I don't know he had been. No. He mentioned about the billboard that Labour got up. Sean, forget, he had a billboard with Pastor High School coming soon for 4 years. He had it up so long that all the paint come off, and it was a big white billboard. Shan't forget that. Abysmal performance. The people of Sunny Point fed up with you, Sean, and we're going to get rid of you. So you better open your eyes and wait for it.
Okay, caller, thank you so much for that contribution. Dr. Richards, any response?
Yes, certainly. And see, we don't have much time left. So, first of all, let me make a correction, because when I said that in terms of the ministries, departments, that they used to do a quarterly forecast, someone who works for government messaged me and said to me that it's actually a monthly forecast that they used to do and had funds released based on that. But now, as I said, those forecasts no longer being accepted by the Ministry of Finance, and every single thing that you have to purchase, the Ministry of Finance has to approve it. So I want to thank that person for that particular clarification. In response to the last caller, clearly that caller has his own bias. I can speak to a number of things which were done in Sandy Point, the police station that you had down there for years, with the police complaining about mold, the police complaining about rat eating the bread, getting all sorts of things. The police station that had been removed for several different times. For the first time, Sandy Point has a brand new police station, and the biggest police station in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. The entire island main road was resurfaced, and the asbestos water pipes that you had in Sandy Point were all removed from that particular project. You had places like the Ponyard down in street area, the car path over Romney's ground, etc., which ain't had no roads for years upon years upon years, which I we now have paved roads. The playfield was the representative, and when Jacinth was there, they started fencing it, and when she lost, it was never completed, and you never even had one lamp pole on it, light. I ensured that whether it is morning, noon, or night, that persons can go there and use it, because modern lighting is now on that playfield. On the hard court down there, you have changing room there. A number of Sandy Point, you have 2 housing projects in Sandy Point. Up until now, not one housing project in Sandy Point under this administration. The tennis court, you actually had a tennis court is of society in Sandy Point. Now you can't even use the tennis courts because of the dilapidated conditions of the tennis courts in Sandy Point. I could speak about jobs. I could speak about persons who got land and several different opportunities from the constituency of Sandy Point, the number of persons who sat on boards. Now, if you look in Sandy Point, you probably only could find 2 persons sitting on a board, and one of them was the campaign manager, the Labour candidate for Sandy Point. But time doesn't permit me to go into some of those things, because there's one final thing I want to speak about, Jamie. Just bear with me for a few minutes.
Okay.
Because we're going to speak about the hypocrisy, and we're going to speak about the character of Dwyer Astafan, because people need to know who Dwyer Astafan is. In 2020, there was a court matter decided by the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, and it involved Dwyer Astafan and the estate of his godmother / aunt, Gwenny Saheli. And I'm not going to read the entire thing, just a few paragraphs I want to read. And it refers to a Mistress Kondari. I think Mistress Kondari is the brother / sister of Dwyer Astafan. Mistress Kondari in Richmond Island in 2020, and along with other family members, visited Miss Saheli. Although she observed some physical improvement, Miss Saheli was appeared to be the same mentally. During one of these visits, however, the family was informed by Mr. Astafan, the defendant, and this is Dwyer Astafan, that Mr. Haley had executed a power of attorney in his favor. He stated he was contacted by Mr. Haley, who requested that he take care of her affairs. This seemed to alarm some members of the family, and they were of the view that Mr. Haley did not have the mental capacity to execute such an agreement. She didn't have the mental capacity to execute such a document. Those who gave evidence on behalf of the claimants all claimed that Mr. Haley was never particularly fond of Mr. Astafan in the first place, Dwyer Astafan. Although she was his godmother, they didn't have a particularly close relationship. Despite his mention of the money to the family in November 2006, what the defendant did not then mention was that a last will and testament was also drawn up with him as the sole executor and main beneficiary in Mr. Haley's estate. Although it was not mentioned in the defendant's witness statement, nor was he cross-examined on it, the documents disclose a copy of Mr. Astafan's last will and testament, allegedly executed on 2nd November 2006, in which he mentioned the dispositions made in Mr. Haley's will. The court also heard evidence from Mr. Jason Kelsick. He's a grandson to Josephine. Josephine, let me add here, is the mother of Dwyer, and therefore a nephew of the claimants and the defendant. Mr. Kelsick states that he had visited the Brimstone Hill residential care home in September 2006. He states that he did so at Mr. Astafan's invitation. He states that he had a very good relationship with Mr. Astafan, and it was not unusual for him to be asked to accompany Mr. Astafan during his visit with Mr. Haley. Mr. Kelsick is bald-headed and fits the description of the family who Ms. Phipps indicated in her evidence also visited the home along with Mr. Astafan. On his first visit to the home, Mr. Kelsick immediately realized that Mr. Haley was not the person that he had known her to be. She did not recognize him, even after his prompting. According to Mr. Kelsick, she seemed unaware from standing around that place. Like most persons who visited Mr. Haley, Mr. Kelsick indicated that she was in Barbados and kept indicating that she wanted to return to St. Kitts. She could not remember her sisters and appeared totally spaced out. She also seemed paranoid and kept indicating that persons were up and was very concerned about that. During these visits, Celtic found the most done, Jamie, that Mr. Astafan would dominate the conversations he had with Mr. Haley. It seemed to him that attempt was being made to manipulate her. He never observed Mr. Haley ask Mr. Astafan to do anything. According to Mr. Celtic, she certainly did not ask that Mr. Astafan conduct any business for her whilst he was present. In fact, he states Mr. Haley kept asking for her nephew Tommy, who is himself an attorney who is in Anguilla. Anytime Tommy's name was brought up, Mr. Astafan would change the subject. After one of his visits to the home with Mr. Astafan in September 2006, Mr. Kelsick states that Mr. Astafan confided in him that Mr. Haley had executed in his name and was going to get her to cite the bill. According to Mr. Kelsey, he inquired as to whether Mr. Haley would ever do such a thing. In response, Mr. Ashton indicated that Mr. Haley would sign anything because she was not aware of what was going on. Mr. Kelsey was of the firm view that based on his interactions with Mr. Haley, she had never trusted Mr. Astafan prior to her accident and did not particularly like him. This was a sentiment also expressed by the claimants in their own evidence. The defendant never denied the witnesses were not challenged on it during cross-examination. And the final part I want to read is Mr. Kelsey went on in his evidence that Mr. Astafan intimated to him was concerned that if Mr. Haley died with the existing will she had in place, Isis Bratcher would have inherited too much. I do observe, however, that by this time, Isis had in fact died. Mr. Kelsick stated that Mr. Astor wanted to make sure he was in control of Mr. Haley's estate and that he would divide it in a reasonable manner as he saw fit. When Mr. Kelsick made a fire inquiry as to whether Mr. Haley could ever agree to such a thing, Mr. Astafan responded that she wouldn't know the difference. According to Mr. Kelsick, Mr. Astafan asked that he not relay this information to Josephine, his own mother, Josephine. And this is where I want to end. Because I tell you, when you listen to people, you can look at the history of people and you must see how they operate. And if Dwyer Astafan, according to what is written in this court document, could cheat his own family that way. And it's up to you if you come in cheat to be T-R-E-A-T or C-E-A-T. It's up to you to determine that. If you could treat them that way, then why should Pam take any advice from Dwyer? If Dwyer could own family, then what of the people? What of the people's action? Dwyer has no love for Pam. And so we will not be taking any advice from Dwyer. The last thing is that it is persons like Dwyer who motivate me. And so tell Dwyer Astafan that Sean Richards say that come the next general election, Sean Richards will be returned as the representative for Pam in constituency number 5 and Pam in government. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Richards, for agreeing to be our guest this afternoon, Omen.
Yes, we want to thank you very much for giving some clarification to what was said last week and bringing your perspective and the party's perspective on a lot of these burning issues. I am hopeful that the listening public get a chance or had a chance to listen to you and understand your position on a lot of these sensitive issues that has been making the rounds within the last couple of weeks. And it could give them some sort of release that knowing that last week they're saying the people were saying that they wasn't sure if he was going to run in the next general election, and now it is confirmed that the Honorable Sean Richards is running in the next election, amongst other things that you discussed. So we want to thank you very much for coming on and lightening the ear on a few of these issues.
Again, thank you. And I always tell people, that my mother it is not for one tongue. Why cattle talk. I tell them, if I don't interfere, do not interfere with me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Richards, and we do hope to hear much more from you in the not too distant future. Hopefully you'll be back on the ground and shortly, and you can join us in studio. That's how
I certainly will, Jamie. I will take up that invitation.
That's how we are going to end Hot Topics for this afternoon. A very
hot afternoon for Hot Topics. Indeed.
So, Novian, anything that you wanted to remind the people of before we go?
Not really. The funeral for Mr. Clark, Chubby, I believe it's on Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah. So you could come on out and pay your respects. They had a candlelight last night. And
it was very sad.
Yes, very sad indeed. We need to do better as a community. Yeah, so want to send prayers to the families also. Yes.
Yeah. But this is how we're going to end Hot Topics for this afternoon. And I want to thank all of you who chose to spend your afternoon with us. I noticed that there are many comments on the Facebook page. I'm sorry that we were not able to get to those comments. But I'm certain that those who are viewing and those who are listening via our Facebook platforms, they'll see the comments and they'll be able to read them, so people would interact with what you had to say. Coming up next on Freedom FM, we have the Sort Out Show with DJ Rinch.
Now boarding Anguilla Air Services passengers with direct flights to St. Kitts. Round trips are only $284 US. St. Kitts taxes and fees included. Come, experience the magic. Best price, best value, best service. A new chapter in Caribbean connectivity is here. Come fly with Anguilla Air Services today. From the breathtaking views as you lift off from Anguilla to the warm embrace of St. Kitts as you touch down. This service is more than a flight. It's a bridge. A bridge for families, for business, for culture, for adventure, and for strengthening the ties that unite our beloved region. With daily departures, Sunday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. from Anguilla and 9:45 a.m. from St. Kitts, and on Saturdays, a 2:30 p.m. departure from Anguilla and a 5 p.m. departure from St. Kitts. Travelers now enjoy a more dependable, smoother, more enjoyable way to commute between these two vibrant destinations. Whether you're exploring heritage sites, engaging in regional commerce, visiting loved ones, or simply traveling for leisure, Anguilla Air Services is honored to be part of your journey. Experience the magic. Fly Anguilla Air Services. Tickets can be booked at the counters in Anguilla and St. Kitts or online at your favorite booking engine. For more information, visit www.anguillaairservices.com.
Hey there. Let's face it, life happens. Bills pile up, surprises pops up, and sometimes staying on top of payments feels impossible.
But don't stress, we've got you. Our debt evaluation and restructuring program is here to help you breathe easier.
Here's the deal. We work with you to restructure or refinance your loan. No cookie cutter solution here. It's all about you.
It's like hitting the restart button on your finances. And the best part is super easy. Here's how it works.
Step 1. Pick up that phone. Call us at 465-2288 here in St. Kitts or 469-5416 for Nevis, or just pop in at your nearest branch. Isn't that easy? Step 2. Book an appointment to see one of our delinquency officers. We are ready to serve you. Sit down with us. Spill the tea on your financial situation and let's work it out together.
Think of it as your financial glow up.
The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life.
It's Winfest International Drag Race, May 22nd to the 24th at St. James's Raceway, Nevis. Drag racing, 11 a.m. daily. Test, June, qualifying, and race finals. Hosted by Cody from Antigua Streets. Coverage by Nick Lou of Skunk Styles. Friday 22nd, meet and greet the racers at the VIP Lounge at 869. Live music by New Vibes International. Sweet Sister Sensia, DJ Smudge, and Prezi. Saturday 23rd at 869 Sports Bar and Grill. DJ Prezi, New Level Sounds, Bobby and Toby, and the Horny Band, Grand Busters. Admission for Friday and Saturday, $25 before midnight. After that, it's $30. On Sunday night, DJ Smudge and New Level Sounds. Admission absolutely free. It's Winfest International Drag Race, May 22nd to May 24th at St. James's Raceway. Don't you miss it! Big Tunes Karaoke presents Karaoke Round Robin 2026 Volume 4. Saturday 9th May, we going OR at Gijo's Bar Station Street Old Road. Saturday May 16th, Sonia's Bar and Lounge on Bond Road, Newtown is the next stop. Saturday May 23rd, Sing Your Heart Away at Carib Grave, Main Road Village. Saturday May 30th, check the action at Bingo's Bar and Grill, Wellington Road. June 6th, we're back at Escape Lounge on the Irish Town Bay Road. Then we close it down on Saturday, June 13th, right where we started, back on the Figgy Bay Strip at Vibes Beach Bar and Grill. 10 rounds of karaoke entertainment, guest DJs, drink specials, and giveaways. Starting time 6 p.m. nightly. Carry your own key and sing your heart away at Karaoke Round Robin Volume 4.
106.5. Life can be very unpredictable, whether it's human nature or Mother Nature. Don't get caught off guard. Protect your family, home, business, vehicle, and boat with a policy from Nagico Insurances. We offer the best bundle deals, so get more for less. Visit your Nagico representative and ask for your bundle today. Nagico Insurances, proudly serving the Caribbean for over 35 years. Fast, fair, and always there.
I'm a single man and I